Welcome to the Bedford Area Chamber of Commerce Chamber Vibes, where we're here today with some great guests, and we are so excited to talk about the Integrity Badge program and the pinning ceremony that just happened this past Tuesday. And we will start off with Leslie with the school system, art teacher number 1. Leslie, take it off. We want to hear about every single bit of this project that is so exciting for our community. We also have Chief Todd Foreman here with the police, and we are just thrilled on how this worked for collaborative businesses and everyone that took part in this program. But I'll tell you who was instrumental was Leslie. So thank you for all that you've done for this badge project. And let us know a little bit about what took place, how it all came together, and why.
Well, first of all, Wendy and Chief, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity just to share with you. As you know, on Tuesday, for those who missed it, we had a huge celebration of bringing our local law enforcement together with our youth. Back in the fall, when the pandemic hit, we all had to switch hats and start doing things differently. And as an art teacher, I decided that it was important to look outside the box, that we were not just going to create pretty pictures, but we needed to create things that were beautiful and unifying. And one thing led to another, a conversation with the chief, and we decided that we wanted to bridge some difficult relationships between our youth and the local law enforcement. And together through those conversations, the Integrity Badge project was brought to life. The students were
Challenged.
Some things, my mind is racing on so many different things. Things that were surprising to me is we first started off with a civic lesson on really the different roles and values of the law enforcement in the area. A lot of the students did not understand the difference between the town of Bedford's police force, the sheriff's department, and the state troopers. So we first had to divide and conquer and help the children understand the different roles and values. From there, we asked the students through a wonderful open discussion, what does the local police force mean to you, and what do you think their role is in protecting you? And from that, we decided to create a badge that symbolizes what they believe that the police should do for them. And the badge serves as a reminder to the police officers that there are youth out there that do have high regard and respect what they're doing.
So advantageous. I tell you, we are so blessed to have such a great teacher, and Chief Todd Foreman, how wonderful he is to have really taken this and ran with it to help our whole community. And it's breaking down walls. I mean, you think about what is transpiring with this project. It's bringing together synergy and respect and trust with our children. And you can't say that enough on how wonderful that part of this program is, along with the art and so many other aspects to this entire project. So the inspiration behind the badge project, what exactly gave you that?
Chief Foreman, he really, in our conversation, said, Les, I want to create a relationship of trust with the youth, and how can we do this? And he shared his, Chief, jump in. You shared your core values and your mottos, and
it was during a time when we were having a lot of civil unrest and a lot of problems in the community, not our community, but nationwide. Our community's always been really good. We did have some peaceful protests and different things happen, but when she came to me, we talked about how art and youth can work together, and I talked about bringing trust and relationships and building it so people could understand who we are. It's not just what you see in the media, but it's who we are. So I showed her we'd already redesigned our patch, our shoulder patch, and I said, why don't we try something with our badge? So then she liked the idea. I checked with our local Commonwealth attorney, make sure that everything in the badge would be okay the way we were going to talk about designing it. And he was good with the way we're designing it. It's a badge of authority. So then we just gave our values, our vision, our mission, our motto. We let the students know all of these things about us so they could learn about who we really are, what our thought processes are, and not just what they're seeing in the news and on the TV of the negative things, but so they could see something positive and what we're really trying to achieve. And through that, we wanted them to design something that they could show that would that we could wear that would show what they felt about us at the same time, and that they understood what we're doing. And it was about them understanding us and understanding who we are and what we believe and what we're really trying to do and accomplish in our community.
And in the design of the badge, I thought was interesting because all of this came about really through the students. There were two components of the badge. We worked with a company called Smith & Warren, who are absolutely phenomenal. They are the manufacturers of the badges. And there are two components. One of them is the base of the badge, and that holds banners and mottos. And the students worked collaboratively trying to streamline their thoughts of what is important. And they came up with the words integrity, courage, and respect. And a word that we heard over and over and over was community as well. And then within the button on the badge, there's a button, and that's the visual symbol of, without words, just to look at it and understand what that badge stands for. And each student created their own button or medallion from what they felt their core beliefs were with the police. The students narrowed out of close to 200 kids, about 170 or so students. They narrowed it down to their 5 top favorites. And they had a vote within themselves. From there, with your help, Wendy, it went crazy. We went on with the chamber, and it went out on Facebook with Woody Watts down here at Watts Creative Studios, and almost 4,000 people voted. So there was a true outpouring of the community, and they selected the winner. And
it wasn't just one vote you couldn't just tap on it and vote every minute. There had to be time in between the votes. It was more like an hour in between votes. So it wasn't somewhere somebody could just sit there and vote. So it was actually community members really taking the time to vote for the one they liked the best.
There were the top 5 students were Mackenzie Brown, Kara Maddox, Emma Hudson, Hannah Wright, and ultimately Wyatt Newman took the most votes for first place on the button. And Talia Tuck designed the badge base. And the badge is a combination of important words, symbolism, and the American flags. The community, civic leaders, and personal sponsors also, I think it's important to recognize those folks. When we started doing this, we thought, how are we going to do this? But people like Case and Kobe Peterman and Tim Black, Dan Plattis, the Brew family, Tony and Laurie Croft, and even Chief Todd Foreman put his own money in, not the civic money, his salary, because he was so pleased with this and working with the children, which I think that speaks highly of you, Chief. Civically, the Chamber, Bedford Professional Women's Club, the General Federation of Women, Bedford Women's Club, and Bedford Rotary all invited us to speak and share our mission and this project and to help us celebrate.
And it's such a worthwhile project. And we can definitely see this project going, worldwide for sure, because of the impact that it's going to make on the community itself. And Chief, you can speak to that.
First off, I wanted to say it's really exciting for me because when we first started the project, I was a little concerned. I won't say I wasn't concerned, because you never know what you're going to get. And then if I bring something, and I actually told Leslie this, if I bring something that the officers aren't going to be proud to wear, it's going to be difficult. But the officers are really excited to wear this badge. In fact, some of them have asked if we could make it our permanent badge instead of wearing it on special occasions. So we're really looking at the excitement of the officers having it.
Well, I think they appreciate the officers truly are looking at the big picture of understanding symbolically that badge means something to the youth of this community.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, building the community from within and showing the youth how important it is to support their police.
Well, and showing them they have a voice too. And that was something that was important to me, is I want them to understand they have a voice within the community too, that they can speak to us all.
And make a difference.
Yes, and they do. They did make a difference. They came up with these designs and the badge on their own. We gave them what we believed in our values, and they designed it all.
So what do you think was the biggest surprise within the whole project?
Well, for me, I think it was seeing how well the students took this on and how they really liked the project and got excited about it. And talk to them now. I've talked to at least five of them. One hadn't come and picked it up yet. Because we had them. I had the medallions framed and given them to all the students that have been there to pick them up. So I've talked to them in person individually about it when they picked them up, and talked to them about what they learned, and to hear them say they learned something new about the police department. They learned that we aren't what they're seeing on the media, and our belief systems are different than what they're seeing. It was exciting to me, and it was exciting to see the changes in thoughts, and to talk to Leslie about some that had some issues with the police, and how we may have changed a little bit of that and helped maybe bridge that gap a little bit. It's what's exciting to me for it. It's maybe not the most surprising to me, but it's the most exciting for me to see the changes in the thoughts, so we can maybe make a difference. If we can make a difference in any kid's life, it's important to us.
Well, I was surprised because, as the chief said, we live in a wonderful, wonderful town. And when the discussions came up, there were students that were not comfortable with this project. They had had personal experiences in their family or extended family or friends, and they were very uncomfortable with their own emotions regarding the police. As a matter of fact, I had a very nice young lady who, basically wanted to refuse to do the project. But through the discussion, the dialogue, the education, and understanding that these sort of activities give her a voice.
Yes.
And by the end of it, and that's, as a teacher, that's what's important, is we all don't have to agree, but we all need a voice. We need to be able to have a place to express it and share it. And then come to a conclusion that it's okay, we can agree to disagree. But at the end of the day, there were several students that by the end of the project said, I think I have a better understanding. And you could see that, there was a bridge, that some of the gaps and divides were coming closer together. I would like to point out, even though we gave the badges on Tuesday, we're kicking off our Youth Art Month, and that is a national recognition for art. And the chief was willing to share this excitement until we could really showcase what our students in this town do. Art is very important for us. The artisans, I did not mention that, but in the behind the scenes, I have a wonderful group of artisans on the Artisan Trail and local shops and businesses. They support our students. They support careers. They support businesses. And it's very important culturally for our town to continue to support the arts and be a part of it. And this is just to showcase. March showcases the youth developing in a love and an interest, lifelong interest in the arts. And this year's theme, surprisingly, was called Art Connects With Us. That was just a happy accident.
Well, one of those happy accidents works out well with this project to emphasize, and it truly does. Art does connect us, and you can really express yourself through art and make a difference all in one. And so this project really connects all of those. And we're just excited to be able to promote the project and to make sure people know about it, how to get involved, what is the next step, and how are the badges being distributed? I know, we did pin them, but talk about that.
Well, I've had them for about a month now, so I've had the badges for a while, and not everybody's seen them. A few people have seen them. So, but we're all going to be wearing them on the shirts starting March 1st. We'll wear them throughout the month of March. After that, our officers are asking if we can wear them in July because they feel like they have a patriotic theme to them. And then also in the month of September for September 11th. So the officers are asking for those 3 times, at least for us to wear them those 3 times a year. So the officers will each have their own badge, and they'll keep it, and we'll assign when to wear it and when not to wear it. But those times are right now the times we've decided we will be wearing them because it's exciting for us, and when all the officers are proud to have the badges worn, it's part of their pride of their uniform, the badge. So.
It's so advantageous for us to have such a wonderful program that's going to affect the entire community, definitely our police force and the youth of our area. So continuing the relationships, the students were actually able to pin the badges on the police force, right?
Yes, we actually had them come up at council meeting, and we had them handed them the badges, and they took and pinned it on each uniform of the officers that were there at the meeting that night.
And how exciting for them to be able to do that and
Yeah.
take part and
It's a connection
make
between them
that
and the officers. And
connection.
they actually pinned my badge too, so we all were up there, and it was a connection between all of us getting the badges pinned on us.
So do you see this program going outside of the town of Bedford?
Well, I've got several ways. We applied for to be instructors at the International Association of Chiefs of Police. We applied for a session there. They get hundreds of applications to do these every year, and they only choose so many. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. That's one way, and hopefully we will be talking about it there if people read about it, because this is a time when we're talking in the nation about how to build trust in our communities, and that's what the session would talk about. Then there's another way is we're talking to about one of my officers is going to actually present it to the International Association of Chiefs of Police for their Leadership Award in Community Policing. So we could get recognized as a police department for the community policing efforts in this, to where we're building the trust and relationships in the community with this program also. And then the other way is I'm a member of the IACP, and I'm on committees, and I've actually talked to some members of my committee about it, and it's one of the Canadian Mounties that is on the committee with me has talked about me getting the information to her so that they can present it in their region to see if they could do something similar to this in their region. So it could be actually happening in Canada if she's able to convince her region to do this. So it's going all over. It's all different places, different agencies. It's exciting for us to see. Hopefully we'll be presenting it there at the meeting to the smaller agencies. You have to pick which group you want to speak to, and I thought smaller agencies would be the group to speak to, because a lot of times smaller agencies are looking for projects like this, and this was one that didn't cost the town any money. It was one, if you do it properly, you get the information out to everybody, and it doesn't cost the community anything. It costs the time, basically, and the students' time, and then everybody else donates to it.
Well, we can't thank you both enough for all that you have done to have such a fabulous program that will affect so many lives right here in the town of Bedford. And we are just thrilled to, again, be able to promote it and take part. And thank you for breaking down barriers, for bringing trust back with a visual bridge that actually builds a stronger community. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy.